Congratulations, you're a wizard. Sounds magical, right? Wrong. You just got drafted into the weirdest medieval boarding school on Earth. And your childhood? Yeah, it's basically trauma, wrapped in butterbeer foam. First off, how do you even find Hogwarts? Nobody gives you Google Maps. Instead, some sketchy half-giant shows up at your door like, you're a wizard, and suddenly you're shoving your face into a brick wall at King's Cross Station, praying you don't break your nose in front of confused tourists. Then there's the sorting hat. One creepy talking hat climbs onto your head, sniffs your brain like it's wine tasting, and decides your entire destiny. Imagine being 11 and one piece of laundry picks whether you're a nerd, evil, background character, or main character with chronic hero complex. Great system, totally not flawed. Now welcome to Hogwarts, a castle so dangerous it makes regular schools look like daycare. Stairs move on their own like they're on caffeine. Ghosts scream in the hallways for fun. The bathrooms, haunted, and the Forbidden Forest is filled with homicidal spiders, werewolves, and tree roots that could probably eat you alive. But sure, detention, very safe. Oh, and classes, good luck. You're learning potions from a man who looks like he hasn't smiled since the Cold War. Transfiguration from a teacher who can literally turn you into a ferret. And defense against the dark arts. Well, that's basically Russian roulette. Every year, your professor either dies, quits, or turns out to be Voldemort's side hustle. Meanwhile, Muggle kids get iPads, Instagram, and field trips to museums. You get quills that smudge ink, exploding cauldrons, and a sport where 11-year-olds nearly die flying on broomsticks while adults cheer. And let's not forget, every single year, this school gets invaded. Trolls in bathrooms, basilisks in pipes, dementors on the train. Voldemort just casually living on the back of someone's head. And what do the teachers say? 10 points to Gryffindor. Yeah, thanks, that'll pay my funeral bill. And don't even think your dorm room is safe. Oh no, you're sharing a bedroom with 4 kids who all snore, steal your Birdie Bot's beans, and watch you like hawks in case you're secretly evil. Privacy? Forget it. Even your paintings gossip. Literally. You can't sneak out past curfew because a fat lady in a frame will scream the whole hallway awake. Meals looks fun at first. Huge tables, endless food, floating candles. But then you realize pumpkin juice is the only drink on the menu. Ever heard of water? No, it's pumpkin juice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner until your body turns into a squash. And homework? It's not do some reading. It's brew a potion or the classroom explodes. Forget a comma on your spell and suddenly you've turned your best friend into a frog. Muggle kids complain about math, but at least their calculator doesn't bite them. Oh, and exams. You're not filling bubbles on paper. You're fighting off boggarts and making teacups sprout legs. Fail, and you don't just lose marks, you risk your life. Best case, you grow antlers. Worst case, you blow up the classroom. And still, people say, Hogwarts is the best school in the world. Yeah, sure, if your idea of best means possibly dying before graduation. But here's the kicker, the worst thing about being a wizard isn't just the school, it's the world waiting outside Hogwarts. And oh boy, that world is not built for your survival either. So you survived 7 years of near-death classes, killer forests, and cafeteria squash juice. Congrats, you now enter the adult wizarding world, which is somehow more insane than Hogwarts. Let's start with jobs. Muggle kids dream of becoming doctors, engineers, or influencers. You get stuck in the Ministry of Magic. It's just endless paperwork, owl poop, and corrupt bosses pretending they're not secretly Voldemort groupies. Want something glamorous like horror work? Great, prepare to fight dark wizards until you're either dead, cursed, or crying into your butterbeer. Speaking of butterbeer, the wizard economy is a joke. 1 gold coin equals something? Nobody knows. Goblins run the bank, and every time you walk into Gringotts, you're one sneeze away from being dragon food. Try getting a loan. Ha! Goblins will laugh so hard you'll need a Confundus charm just to exit the lobby. Then there's transportation. Muggles invented cars, planes, even Wi-Fi. Wizards, you get brooms that throw you off mid-air. Fireplaces that double as teleporters if you don't choke on soot. And port keys that feel like roller coasters designed by Satan. Miss your destination by 1 second? Congrats, you're now stranded in a goat farm in Albania. Oh, and healthcare? Don't even ask. Muggles get hospitals with machines and medicine. Wizards get, drink this potion and hope you don't grow an extra head. Someone broke your arm, Madame Pomfrey will regrow it overnight. but it'll feel like boiling lava inside your bones. Honestly, Advil would be cheaper. And let's not forget, you're never safe. Dark Lords pop up like bad sequels. Voldemort may be gone, but give it 10 years and some other edgy wizard with no nose or questionable fashion sense will rise again. You're basically living in a constant horror franchise reboot. Meanwhile, Muggles get Netflix, TikTok, and smartphones. Wizards, you still send letters by bird, real high tech. The most advanced communication system you've got is a talking mirror, and even that lags more than rural Wi-Fi. But here's the true nightmare. You can't even retire in peace. Every few years, someone drags you into another epic battle of good versus evil. Like you didn't already risk your life at age 11. And the Ministry, they'll thank you by giving you a tiny newspaper headline and then charging you for property damage. So yeah, being a Hogwarts wizard doesn't end with graduation. That's just the trailer. The real disaster begins when you try to survive adulthood in a world where the only constant is chaos. And yet, there's still one thing that makes it worse. Not Voldemort, not the Ministry, not even the dragons. Nope, the worst part of wizard life is the curse of your own reputation. Yeah, right, your reputation. In the wizarding world, gossip spreads faster than a broomstick on Red Bull. The second you graduate, people shove you into categories. The next Harry Potter, the next Dark Lord, or if you're unlucky, the guy who works in magical pest control. No in between. If you were a Gryffindor, everyone expects you to be brave 24/7. You stub your toe? Where's your courage? Ravenclaws, better get ready to solve everyone's crossword puzzles at family reunions. Hufflepuffs, people assume you're so nice you'll help them move furniture for free. And Slytherins, congrats, you're automatically roaming around like a snake. And if you do something heroic, forget living quietly, save a cat from a tree, and suddenly the Daily Prophet is publishing. Local wizard destined to save the world. Thanks, but you were just trying not to get scratched. Fail at anything? Same paper runs. Is Hogwarts education failing us? It's a lose-lose cycle of hype and humiliation. Plus, being magical doesn't mean you're excused from family pressure. Your parents? They're either bragging that their kid made the Quidditch team or complaining you didn't make head boy. Your grandma? She's still mad you didn't get into Gryffindor like your cousin. Even portraits of dead relatives nag you, literally. Imagine your great-great-uncle in a dusty frame yelling, "In my day, we fought giants without crying." Thanks, sir, very helpful, and let's talk about fame kids. Harry Potter, the chosen one, the scarhead celebrity of the century. Because of him, every other wizard grows up in his shadow. Oh, you killed a vampire? Cool, but did you survive you-know-who as a baby? Like, sorry I didn't fight a Dark Lord in diapers. My bad. So yeah, reputation in the wizard world is basically a lifelong trap. You're judged for your house, your family, your grades, and your survival record against homicidal snakes. No wonder half the adults walk around looking exhausted. It's not just the Dementors, it's society itself. And just when you think you've had enough of the pressure, the wizarding world throws in one last nightmare. Relationships. Because dating as a wizard, oh, that's its own cursed subject. Now we arrive at the most cursed subject of them all, love life. Dating as a Hogwarts wizard sounds romantic on paper, candles floating in the Great Hall, sneaking into the Astronomy Tower, but in practice, it's chaos with extra glitter. First off, who are you even dating? Your options are limited to the same 50 classmates you've been trapped with since you were 11. That's not a dating pool, that's a puddle. If you're a Hufflepuff, you're probably stuck competing with someone's pet Niffler for attention. Gryffindors turn every date into a life or death adventure. Slytherins? Yeah, enjoy wondering if your partner's plotting your downfall during dessert. And breakups? Forget about it. Muggles can just block their ex on Instagram. You have to dodge love potions, angry howlers, and maybe even a Jinx toothbrush. Nothing says closure like finding out your ex hexed all your socks to scream her name at 3 a.m. Family life doesn't help either. Pureblood families judge who you marry like it's a medieval tournament. Marry a muggle? Disgrace. Marry a wizard outside your house? Suspicious. Stay single? Definitely cursed. Meanwhile, portraits of dead relatives are in the living room, offering unsolicited relationship advice. Back in my day, I courted your grandmother by wrestling a troll. Thanks, Granddad. And even if you survive romance, there's the whole passing on the legacy thing. Your kid gets their Hogwarts letter, and suddenly you're reliving the same cycle. Scary Hat decides their future, moving staircases, near-death Quidditch accidents. You can't even warn them because the school just shrugs and says, it builds character. So what's the grand legacy of a Hogwarts wizard? Endless danger, crushing expectations, cursed love lives, and kids doomed to repeat the same trauma. Muggles get retirement with golf courses and Netflix. You get a gravestone that reads, "Here lies a Hogwarts wizard. Survived Dark Lords, deadly monsters, and exploding cauldrons. Still couldn't survive OWL stress. But hey, at least you had butterbeer."